Hey everybody, my name is Philip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent located right here in Northwest Arkansas. And today we're talking about why is Northwest Arkansas such a great place to raise a family? So let's talk about that. But before we begin, if you could like this video and also subscribe, that would make the world of difference. I try to produce as much content as humanly possible about Northwest Arkansas. I just want to make sure that my content goes in front of the right people at the right time looking to move here. Hey, that could be you. So thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it. All right, and so I've been getting a lot of clients saying this one phrase over and over and over again. And I figured I had to make a video about it because it's so true. So a lot of my clients have been moving down to Northwest Arkansas because the fact that they realize it's such a great place to raise a family. And so I started asking them, which I know the answers because obviously I see this all the time and a lot of people see this all the time, but I wanted to know like what's the criteria for them for raising a family? And so I kind of made a list and they kind of told me what their thoughts were. And so here's the 5 different reasons why they feel like Northwest Arkansas is a great place. And the first thing that one of the big reasons why they moved down here to obviously raise their family is the fact that there's a college here and a great college. A little known fact about University of Arkansas is that this last couple of years, it's growing exponentially. So a lot of other schools around America have been shrinking because people aren't going to college as much, et cetera, et cetera. But University of Arkansas has actually gained like 5,000 extra students in the last couple of years. Like usually it sits around like 30,000 students, but now it's sitting at 35,000 students. So University of Arkansas is growing a lot and it's awesome. And so they're quickly realizing between like the low tuition and the great housing around here and all the fun things to do around here and this really great environment of Northwest Arkansas, parents are realizing that when their students leave high school, they can just go to University of Arkansas, like actually live here and just go to university because the tuition's great, it's a great place to live. And there are so many amazing career sets you can do in University of Arkansas, whether it's like medical, lawyer, any sort of engineering, whether it's supply chain, whether it's business. So there are so many great things that University of Arkansas is good at that people are just drawn here to raise a family because they know that they can just send their students to University of Arkansas because it's such a great school. And so part of the reason they moved down here is because that's just one factor of many factors of why they feel it's a great place to raise a family. Also, the second reason they always mention about Northwest Arkansas is the fact that Northwest Arkansas has great high schools. So whether you're going to like a charter school like Halls Hall or Don Tyson School of Innovation, Bentonville High School, Fayetteville High School, or Rogers or Farmington, all the high schools around Northwest Arkansas are fantastic, highly rated high schools. They have low like teacher to student ratios. They have great pathways in the school system itself to either obviously learn unique things within the school system. And on top of that, and this is kind of a bigger draw for the area, is the fact that you can actually jump from school to school to school if you want to. Like, let's say for instance, you live in Farmington, but you want to send your student to Fayetteville. You're more than welcome to apply and actually just go to Fayetteville versus Farmington or vice versa. And so it's kind of unique to the area. Where I came from in Chicagoland area, not a thing. That ain't gonna happen. Or you had to pay like thousands of dollars extra to get your student into that area. And so Northwest Arkansas is very unique in that realm that you can just move from school to school and you can just apply for it and get into it. Same with the charter schools is that you can actually apply for the charter schools. You don't always get into the charter schools because it is a lottery system. But the really cool thing is that a lot of people that I do know get into the school systems there, the charter schools, and their lives are kind of changed for the better overall because the charter schools around here are just fantastic. That reminds me. I have a 3-day itinerary. So maybe you're coming down to Northwest Arkansas and you're quickly realizing, oh my gosh, there's so much to do because there's so much to do. I have a 3-day itinerary link below. So maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer, maybe you have kids. I made a 3-day itinerary link down below for you. Also, when you do come down here, definitely give me a call. I can show you, kind of give you the $10 tour, show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. And the third reason why Northwest Arkansas is a great place to raise a family, and this kind of goes back to the education side a little bit, but the fact is that Northwest Arkansas not only has great high schools and great charter schools and great private schools, but on top of that, they have very unique schools that maybe, for instance, your student isn't the best at math or English or isn't going to be an engineer. Maybe they're going to be in art. Maybe they're going to be in culinary. Maybe they're going to be in a very specific field. And that's one really cool thing is that Northwest Arkansas has very unique fields when it comes to different sorts of education. So maybe, your student isn't going to math and what I said before, but then maybe they're into art or into different cultures or different, maybe want to be into politics, for instance, or want to be into law. There are so many different schools in Northwest Arkansas that your student can actually get into that is very specific to the actual area, the actual focus of the area itself. A good example is Don Tyson School of Innovation. Don Tyson School of Innovation is like what it sounds, it's a school dedicated to engineering and innovation and science. And maybe your student wants to get into more of the actual art side, like maybe language or arts or culture or painting or music. There are schools dedicated to music. There are schools dedicated to art. There's schools dedicated to even some sort of political side as well. So it's really interesting to see Northwest Arkansas so diverse because of the fact that it's not just a simple go to high school, go to middle school and continue on. It's that if they will find a spot for you in the area, and there are schools dedicated and built for your students. And number 4 is the fact that there are so many jobs in Northwest Arkansas. And so from a parent's perspective, you're thinking like, okay, if I bring my students to Northwest Arkansas, they go through the education system, they go to University of Arkansas, are they gonna have opportunity for jobs? And I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but we have some of the 3 biggest companies in the world located in Northwest Arkansas. And on top of that, we have startups, we have mid-sized companies, we have and all the different actual connected to Walmart. Walmart requires a lot of their suppliers to be in Northwest Arkansas. So Rogers, we have Hershey's, we have Dove, we have Unilever, we have all the different major brands that actually represent themselves in Walmart stores. They're here too. And so it's really cool is the fact that even if you don't want to work for Walmart, JB Hunt or Tyson or a retailer, there are so many manufacturing jobs. There are so many different skilled jobs, like skilled labor, as well as on top of that, like whether you're into investment firms or startup culture, there are so many different things that you can do in Northwest Arkansas. So jobs are not hurting at all here at all. And last but certainly not least, and I cannot stress this enough because it's very understated, but the fact is that Northwest Arkansas is a very, very safe place to raise a family. Now, let's think about this for a second. Would you send your 19-year-old daughter to a university that has a lot of violence and stuff around it? The answer is no. The university and Walmart and Tyson, JB Hunt, the mid-sized companies, all the cities have a big interest and a big part of playing to make sure this area is very, very safe for everyone here. So it's really cool is the fact that you can go anywhere in Northwest Arkansas and feel very safe. One really cool thing I love about Fayetteville specifically is the fact on the Razorback Pathway, which is that major pathway that runs between the cities and all the different trail systems that connect to it. All the pathways in in Fayetteville are lit up. Now, there aren't necessarily all lit up in Springdale and Rogers, but a lot of them are in Bentonville and parts of Rogers and Springdale. But it's really cool around the university is the fact that if you are sending your daughter and student to the university, all the pathways in Fayetteville are lit up. So it's easy to, obviously go around and travel the whole town in any time of the day because there's so much light around the area. And so again, that's why part of the reason that people move to Northwest Arkansas to raise a family is because it's so safe. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Appreciate you guys watching. Again, if you are thinking about moving down to Northwest Arkansas, download my 3-day itinerary linked below. Maybe you're an adventurer, maybe you're a sports person, maybe you're a foodie, maybe you're a sightseer. The 3-day itinerary is definitely dedicated and given for you. Also, when you do come down here, I can give you the $10 tour so I can show you around the whole area. Plus, we can check out some homes for sale or for rent and see how far your dollar will go in Northwest Arkansas compared to where you're coming from. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.